Beastmaster III.
Beastmaster III, the Eye of Braxus.
Of Braxus.
Yes. Yeah. So we have our third Beastmaster film. Actually, this kind of served as the impetus for us doing Barbarian Cinema Month here at Catching Up on Cinema, because Levi and I got to talking about Barbarian cinema of the 80s, and the subject of Beastmaster came up, and then the subject of Beastmaster sequels came up, at which point I think it was you who informed me there exists a third Beastmaster. There is another. I knew about Beastmaster 2 through the portal of time, thanks to Noah Antweiler / the Spoony one. But Beastmaster 3, my reaction was,
I was not aware of that.
that was news to me. And you had told me, I think you had a VHS of it, or were perhaps eyeing one. Did you already have it? And you were just like, I need an excuse to watch this.
Well,
maybe
that was the weird thing, is that I bought MGM like sometime in like the mid 80s released these very nice boxes for their different VHS releases that had like a flip up like coffin lid to them and everything. So I had that one for Beastmaster. I'm like, okay, cool. Then I find Beastmaster 3 at the local flea market, and I'm like, 3?
3? Is this, would you say this is good? Would you say this is worthwhile? I don't know, but like just the novelty factor of picking up Beastmaster 3. And not only that, if you look up the cover art for this one, the thing about this movie is that this is many years post the Beastmaster. This is 1996. So this is post Barbarian trend in general. Like, we're heading into the Hercules, the Legendary Journeys, and Xena Warrior Princess era of fantasy. Like sword and sandal peplum stuff was kind of falling out of fashion in the traditional sense. We were heading more into, I kept thinking of the fucking Mystic Knights of Tir na Nog when I was watching this. So it's a totally different era of the subgenre. But if you look at the cover art for this VHS, it looks like a fantasy novel, like a dime store fantasy novel of its vintage. It looks like a Goosebumps book. So it's like, if you were around for 1996, if you were a child at the time, I certainly was. There's a fuzzy nostalgia that comes with it, warm and fuzzy nostalgia with seeing this kind of cover with this style of like digital painting and coloring.
Yeah, the whole packaging and the presentation and everything. Bizarrely enough, what kept coming to mind, so there's like Hercules was so big of a TV show along with Xena. What actually kept coming to mind was shows like Briscoe County that were genre and kind of tongue-in-cheek and kind of fun, but it's just the way that we are simultaneously very big and very grand and kind of genre, but we have $10. We got $10 to do this.
Yeah, we have $10 and other costumes from other films, other productions.
Yeah, like, this was like raid the backlot, and it's so interesting because the history of this Beastmaster lived at MGM for the first film. MGM was the home. Then the second one was Republic Pictures, which is a historical like Poverty Row studio, mostly known for the Republic serials. They were known for sort of their cheap, action cliffhanger serials. This one was put out by Universal's television division for their action movie block. So it is very, very TV. And it would appear that we have changed hands several times, but Mr. Tibet is very firmly in the producer role for this. They did not let him near the director's chair again. They probably tried to make it sound like it was his idea that he shouldn't direct again.
Yeah, that's how you negotiate with that kind of personality.
Yeah. So we get our third Beastmaster film, not cinematically released, but released to television and then released on VHS, which I discovered not knowing it was around. And upon bringing it up, Trevor and I decided to dedicate an entire month and possibly, hopefully not as long of an episode to this one.
I don't think it's possible. Beastmaster 2 Through the Portal of Time is 3 hours and 11 minutes, I think, of us. And that doesn't include 30 minutes of schmoozing to precede things, as well as a bathroom break, because after 3.5 hours of podcasting, you're going to need it. Yeah, I don't see that being possible here. There's just, frankly, not as much to say. However, I'll just lead up front and say that this is a marginally better film. It's certainly not infuriating in the way that Beastmaster 2 is. Like, this one knows what it is, and it earns your respect through its earnesty, where it's like it's trying to tell a story. They have $10 to tell it with, but everybody who shows up seems pretty game, and more important, the writing seems like they're actually trying to advance the story that was laid out in the first film while paying respect to it. Like, they're treating it like there is lore, whereas the second movie is just kind of like hand wavy about a lot of that stuff, and it's just trying to fart around and get people's attention with a flashy trailer that involves, quote unquote time travel, of which there is none in Beastmaster 2 Through the Portal of Time. This one is very much just a continuation of the first Beastmaster film. Tonally, it's a huge departure because, again, we're going for the kids. It very much has a like young person's television kind of vibe to it. But yeah, just leading up front, not as bad as Beastmaster 2, certainly not amazing. The budgetary limitations are evident. But it's not the worst thing you'll ever see. But you set me up for this really well, Levi, and I'm going to try a feature here that I haven't really used in Restream before. But this was a TV film, and it was aired on Universal's network, which unfortunately I don't have any genuine nostalgia for this because I didn't have that network in 1996 or 1994 when they started airing this. But it aired as part of something called the Action Pack, which was a rotating assembly of TV movies in a variety of genres like fantasy, action, etc., that were very much intended to serve as like pilots for potential series. And I love that idea. That's so charming. It's like, we're going to make this TV movie and then we're just going to have it be the weekly TV movie where it's like people will tune in at this time slot. They'll get what they get. And if we get a strong enough rating or positive public reaction to it, maybe Bruce Campbell's TV movie will get a series, or maybe Mark Singer's Beastmaster 3 will turn into a series starring Mark Singer. Didn't happen.
Maybe just maybe we can get Darkman the series. Oh no.
It's like, oh, that Arnold Vosloo, he's asking for too much money. He's like, someday I've seen Through the Portal of Time. I know there is a mummy that awaits me. It's like, my price tag will rise. You shall see. I shall become Imhotep. Those Darkman sequels are okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, okay. You hate them?
I'm not as big of a fan. I mean, the problem is that they are just so profoundly cheap. Like they are weirdly cheap. And you would think Darkman is a concept you could do on very little budget. You can't.
No. You like the effects work needs to be there. Just the costuming of the lead character is such a huge part of him, and lighting him properly is maybe the most essential thing, because that really is an incredible silhouette. It's very Shadow-esque, like it's certainly borrowing from that, but Sam Raimi's Darkman is a very handsome film in a lot of respects. That's like largely what it is. It's a platform for him to flex some editing and cinematography muscles. But Darkman, I like the one with Jeff Fahey a little bit better. That one's okay.
The third one, right? Die, Darkman, die.
Yeah. I mean, it gets bonus points for the title for sure. But the story I heard was that it was supposed to, they flipped the release date of the two movies, where that one was supposed to be 2. They do that. It's like that Larry Drake. The people come out for Larry Drake.
Yeah, they need that. We need that man.
Yeah,
He's gonna play a side character on Firefly at some point.
I like how it's called like very presumptuously the Return of Durant. It's like you really think people are going to know who Durant is?
It's like if they made a RoboCop movie and they're like the Return of Clarence Boddicker. I'm like, listen, only I know who that is.
Yeah, for real. It's like, like I know who Clarence Boddicker is. That means a lot to me, but to my dad, to my uncle, to my aunt, like Clarence Boddicker?
What's a Clarence Boddicker?
What is a Clarence Boddicker?
Every time I see that actor, I think Clarence Boddicker, and I'm almost 85% sure that nobody I assume everyone else thinks that 70s show.
Yeah, Red Foreman.
But immediately I'm like RoboCop.
Oh yeah, no, me too. I mean, Kurtwood Smith, Clarence Boddicker. It's a natural thing, but yeah, Red Foreman is, I think, what most people call him. But anyway, the action pack, Levi. Again, I said I was gonna test out some bells and whistles here. So excuse me if this is too loud. But this is actually the intro that preceded all these movies, and it's like chef kiss, like mid 90s cheese. It feels like I just put on the NBA on NBC. And it's just like, yeah, I'm ready for some action. And so let's give it a whirl.
That is awesome.
That was incredible.
That is awesome.
I know. That was I had to throw it up there because I looked it up out of curiosity and I was like, holy shit, I wish I had been there for that. Like I can't claim to have been there for it, but seeing it now, I'm like, it's a warm, fuzzy blanket of nostalgia.
That is so good.
It's fantastic. And also a lot of those actually look pretty fun. Like I saw Chris McDonald in there. I saw Bruce Campbell in there for sure. I didn't know there was a Midnight Run series of
apparently
like TV movies based on the De Niro movie, but Tech War is something that I know very little about, but I have long held deep fascination for because that was a multimedia thing that did not work, but they kept trying. They're trying to make Poochie work. They're trying to make Jar Jar work. We're trying to make Tech War work.
Wasn't that Bill Shatner's?
It was Bill Shatner's Tech War. I think that was officially the title, William Shatner's Tech War. And it was a series of novels. I think there may have been a tabletop game. There was most certainly a PC game. It was a multimedia franchise that didn't really get off the ground, but that's a someday project. Let's dive into Tech War.
I'm game. Like it's always been one of those things that's always been off in the corner here because it's like I'm a huge TOS fan, big fan, and I'm like, Bill Shatner did this.
Yeah, Bill Shatner. He's got his finger to the pulse of what the kids are up to. The kids are all about the cyberpunk. You see.
William Shatner in a drunken stupor saw an episode of Max Headroom and said, I can do that.
Yeah, no, he was hanging out with his nephews or something. He was like, what is this Shadow Run? Like, I could do that. I could be the best at that.
Yeah. I've really liked Snow Crashed.
This is Snow Crash.
He's it turns out he's just like a huge Gibson fan. You're like, okay, all right.
It's like hero protagonist. That is the name of our hero in Tech War. You just set me up pretty well with the Star Trek reference there, by the way, because that is where a lot of our crew come from for this movie. Our cast and crew, actually. So this film is directed by Gabrielle Beaumont, lady director in an era of television where there were very few lady directors. Veteran of television, did some MASH, did some Dukes of Hazzard, did some Beverly Hills 90210, did some Star Trek: The Next Generation. Um, and I have to say, probably a decent amount of the crew came from connections formed over her very long career up to this point. We got some Star Trek alum in the cast here. We have David Warner, we have Tony Todd, and I believe she had at least worked with Tony Todd on some of her television work. I can't speak for David Warner off the top of my head, but there is a bit of a Star Trek connection here. And in general, like the cast and crew of this movie is actually kind of fascinating. Like there's actually things to say about a lot of the people in this. And it's kind of remarkable that it's like we had said, $10 budget, probably shot on the quick too. But we have good, solid actors.
Yeah.
And we have a writer who basically like formed the basis of most of our childhoods. It's kind of shocking, actually. His name is David Wise, and he has writing credits on just like name a Saturday morning cartoon, and he's done it. I'm just gonna like throw some names out there that are gonna mean something to you, Levi. So we have Buck Rogers in the 25th Century in 1980. We have He-Man. We have the Mighty Orbots. We have the Transformers, the original Gen 1 show. We have the Ninja Turtles, albeit the not so great seasons like season 4 and 5. Dino Saucers, Gem, Chippendale Rescue Rangers, Batman the Animated Series. It just goes on and on and on and on. And this guy has writing credits on all those shows. He's very much a veteran of fantasy and children's programming. And you kind of feel it here, where this feels like a lot of those shows that I used to watch. It's kind of remarkable. A huge get for the production, because the dialogue isn't great, but the lore crafting, like the world building that's done, is admirable. Like the dialogue, I'm not going to defend wholeheartedly. It's not great at times, and there's some gags that really do fall flat on their fucking face. But yeah, huge get. And composer Jan Hammer, ever heard of him? Did Miami Vice. That was his claim to fame. And also a funny bit of nostalgia, because that seems to be the topic of the day. Beyond the Mind's Eye, Levi, are you familiar?
I am. I actually have a story about that.
Okay, sure.
Beyond the Mind's Eye it wasn't something I grew up with, but I made a short film called Tapes, which was a horror, like kind of suspense short film about a guy who finds a magic VCR and uses it for strange purposes. So it required me to buy like 400 VHS tapes, because I needed it for the set, which actually formed the basis of my modern VHS collection.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it was kind of interesting, because I had like a handful before, and I kind of rotated them out, but then it's like, oh, suddenly I have 400 of these, and I guess I'll watch them. So that was a big start of it. One of those tapes was Beyond the Mind's Eye, and it had a label with an address and a name on it. And I was like, oh, so this was this woman's tapes. And it turns out I had a bunch of them. I had like 10 movies that were all from her personal collection. So I was jokingly like, this is the Coil collection. This is this woman's taste. Like, she had a really wide breadth of movies. It was like, okay, so we have like Basic Instinct, Hook, Beyond the Mind's Eye, Amityville Horror, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Like, I'm like, she had a breadth of taste. And what was crazy is that I went over to a friend's place who was also a collector of VHS, and he had The Gate to the Mind's Eye, which was the sequel video.
Yeah.
It had the same label.
Oh my god! Your
So
friend, someone else inherited part of the collection.
totally random thing. We got these. He's like, dude, I got that like 2 years ago. I'm like, I got mine like 3 years ago. So I'm like, at some point, these two were separated and acquired by two collectors who know each other. And I'm like, I have to go check mine. I have to. And I went home and I took a picture, and he's like, it's the prophecy. He's like,
Two snakes facing each other.
we were we were losing it. We actually had a friend like film bringing them together. We're like, what are the odds? What are the odds that these two sister tapes?
Wow. That's incredible. No, I mean, that's a really awesome story, especially because now I know the origin of your VHS collection.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Beyond the Mind's Eye, if you're not aware, dear listener and hopefully viewer, it's basically just like a science video in a lot of respects, but it featured a lot of like kind of early days CGI, and it had kind of a banger of a soundtrack. And myself and some of my contemporaries, we all have a bit of a nostalgia for it because we remember it being screened on like substitute teacher days at school when we were little kids. But yeah, Jan Hammer, composer of Miami Vice, also contributed the score to that, and contributes a lovely theme to this. I wouldn't say the score on the whole is good, but the theme is solid. Like I can back that.
I like the theme. I like the theme. I like the idea. I'm like, yeah, it fits for 90s fantasy television. Like I'm in it. Like
Yeah.
I'm for it. The music in other places is pretty terrible.
It's garbage, honestly. Like
It's like, ooh boy, like you press a demo on the Casio, like ooh.
yeah, the suspense music that plays curiously during the action beats, it just feels completely wrong. Like the energy is completely off. Actually, like weird deep cut reference that maybe you'll get because Levi surprises me a lot with a lot of the references I toss his way and he gets. Tetris Attack, the Super Nintendo game.
Yes.
It sounds like Raphael the Raven when somebody's about to fucking lose. The music shifts into a certain tone that has like a harp kind of tone to it.
That is exactly what it is. Yeah.
It sounds like that's the action music in this movie.
Dude, it's really
you were about to
weird.
fucking lose a Tetris Attack.
I specifically wrote in my notes, oh, score. Why?
Oh, yeah, it's that bad, honestly. The theme, I back the theme. It's good. It's good for traveling montages, but the rest of it is kind of dog shit.
Oh boy. Yeah, like the action music is just not, it's not good.
Yeah. So, in terms of cast, Mark Singer returns for a third go around as Beastmaster.
With I think his real hair this time.
I think so, and it looks great.
It looks so much better than the second film.
Yeah. It's like, if that's the kind of mop he's dealing with, just let him have that mop. But I gotta praise the man's physique. He's remarkably consistent. Like he doesn't look a whole lot different from 1982. No. It's kind of shocking, but he brings it as he usually does. He's still his Mark Singer self. He's still very much Dar, although like from a performance standpoint, he's still very much Dar. From a writing standpoint, they're trying some stuff with him that I don't think, it seems a little bit ill-advised. Like I don't quite get what they're going where they're going with it, but he's still good.
Yeah, it's interesting because tonally the character's a little different. Like he's a little more headstrong. There's sort of this interesting sense where we talked about in the first film how there's this like, you know, people will fear you and you're set apart in some ways. Where in the first film, he doesn't really take that to heart. In the second film, there's no writing, so there's no real chance for any sort of characterization. But this third one, it seems that he really kind of he takes that loner aspect and really hones in on it. Like he doesn't really want to be around people. I think at some point somebody mentions like you're cursed to be out there. It's like, I'm not sure if that's literal, but it's like he's a loner and he's headstrong. He doesn't really like listening to advice all that much. It's kind of a weird character shift, but the performance is consistent enough that it makes me just kind of tilt my head a little bit, because overall the character still feels intact.
Yeah, it wasn't offensive. It was just kind of like a, I noticed that. I don't know why you're doing that, but okay. Like you notice it, but it's not irksome to the degree that like tarnishes the character or anything. But everything that you just said, Levi, is my reading on it too. Or you see, perhaps they're leaning into the TV aspect of it, where it's like, hey, Renegade's kind of popular. Hey, Incredible Hulk was kind of popular. It's that we need to keep the guy on the road, so he can't set up stakes anywhere. So we're going to implant in the character this sense that he has to remain apart from things so we can keep him moving from weekly adventure to weekly adventure.
Yeah.
Because again, this was supposed to double as a potential pilot for a show that didn't exactly come together timely anyway. But yeah, Mark Singer is very much still the Beastmaster, so I was happy with him. Tony Todd doesn't have quite enough to do, but it is cute seeing the Miami Vice connection there, where it feels very much like a buddy cop kind of scenario between the two of them, where Dar is very seldom alone in this. So they have interplay. They have like banter sometimes that feels different, but it's welcome. It's kind of neat having Dar have somebody around, but more important, have somebody around who he has history with that we've actually seen. Like Tony Todd is playing Seth, who was in the first film, played by Mr. McDowell, but now embodied by the Candyman.
He's the Candyman.
It's like, darn Candyman, go out into the wilderness, marry Miss Absence too.
Man-Bat and the Candyman.
I mean, there you go. There's your Heat Vision and Jack, Man-Bat and the Candyman. So there you go. There's your show.
I will say, I think Tony Todd is a little too good for this material.
Yeah, you can tell.
Seth is a little he's a little underwritten. He's not really given much to do, and it's like if you guys are familiar at all with Tony Todd and his work, he's a phenomenal actor. He's really, really good at what he does. And this is not where he's supposed to be. He's not really thriving in this because they just really aren't giving him much to do, unfortunately. We should probably go over some things with our story.
Balls to you, sir.
All right. There is a new evil. There's a new evil in the land. We are back to Uruk instead of A-Rock. That's actually.
You, I think Wings Hauser just fucked it up, and they kind of had to build the movie around him, because I don't think A-Rock was said very often in the film.
No.
But they probably just had the one take of Wings Hauser saying it out loud, and they're like, well, fuck, I guess we're locked into A-Rock.
Well, so here's the thing. Right off the bat, within the first, 10 minutes, and another praise for this movie, 90 minutes.
It's tight.
Ooh, boy. Ooh, it feels good. Because, my goodness, these movies don't need to be 2 hours.
No, it was like an hour 45 or something for Beastmaster 2. That's nuts.
It just kept going. So we, in the first 10 minutes, establish, hey guys, Beastmaster 2 didn't happen. Doesn't exist. Tal is back. Tal is now still a ruler in the land. He survived the arrow bolt, and he's now from Buenos Aires because he's played by Casper Van Dien.
Who was a lot shorter than I thought, actually. Sandra Hess picks him up and carries him like a baby at one point.
Yeah, dude, it's really kind of crazy. I'm just like, did he grow into it? Or?
Yeah, Johnny Rico is in this movie.
Yeah, I say kill them all.
King Tall insists. He asserts we must kill them all.
I laughed so hard seeing him. Um, Mark Singer's hair looks great. Who Casper Van Dien's
Well,
is
it looks like they took the wig from Beastmaster 2 and just he inherited that.
yeah, exactly. It's like in it's like in the behind the scenes for Revenge of the Sith, where Ewan McGregor looks at Anakin's new design. He's like, "Oh, you got the Jedi mullet. Good man." Tal is back. Later on in the film, somebody recognizes Dar, and I was like, and they're like, "I know of your adventures," and I'm like, "Will they? Are they going to mention Arklon?" And it's just like, "You defeated Mayax all of those years ago," and dialogue, and I'm like, I don't think this second film happened.
Yeah, they retconned it as far as I can tell.
Because another thing that I wrote is Podo and Kodor are back from LA.
Maybe they snuck through the portal of time, which is not a portal through time.
Yeah. So immediately, where it's established everyone's back. Like, second movie didn't happen, so we now have a new villain who's Aegon? Lord Aegon?
Lord Aegon.
So Lord Aegon, who is played by David Warner, who is an old wizard who is sacrificing people. Again, our magic system is largely back. It's back to sacrifice. It's back to old kind of clunky magic. He's sacrificing people to regain his youth in hope to summon a demon lord that will give him ultimate power. The problem is he needs the titular Eye of Braxus, which is being held between Tal, and Tal gives a piece of it to Dar. So he needs this last little artifact in order to summon this demon lord to have ultimate power. And in that, we bring back Seth and Tal and all of the various elements from the previous thing. Some weird stuff is wrong, like the mark on Dar's hand is different. The sword is different. Like some things don't quite come back from translation. But it feels like the team saw the first movie and was like, yes, this is worth building on. This is worth continuing. And they respected what came before. Because even sort of the cinematic language of the animals and how they move, Shirok, how the view of Shirok flying and everything, it feels more like the language of the first film, even technically, even on a smaller, much smaller TV budget.
Well, yeah, they were probably operating from the principle that's like, we're trying to do this very cheap and very quick. It's a sequel. Perhaps it would be in our best interest to not get like overly creative with some of this stuff and just kind of try to emulate or pantomime, like go through the same processes that were utilized in the first film. And just the adherence to the aesthetic qualities of things. Like you said, there are some aberrations here and there where it's like, that sword is not the sword from the first two films, not even close. Those are evident for sure. But they put the correct emphasis on the right element, where it's like Dar's characterization, while different, the character feels correct. And the fact that he actually uses his animals a lot in this movie, that's a huge difference from the second film that like finds a convenient excuse to just like remove them from the vast majority of the narrative. And this one, like, there's all these little touches that I really liked where like Prue is now a lion, by the way, no longer a tiger. It's whatever. And I like that like the animals have more character now. Like Rue is a little bit more defiant, and like a lot of scenes end with Dar having to like poke his head around the corner and say, "Hey, come on," like come on, Rue. And I like that. It's a nice little touch where it's like, he has to coax the lion to come along every once in a while, and just the inclusion of the animal characters just feels like a step in the right direction. It's like, let's take the thing's called Beastmaster. It's the thing that sets him apart from the other barbarians and other fantasy heroes of the vintage. why not lean into that? Why not make them more of the main spectacle of the thing?
Yeah, and even in dialogue, we have those, like, the reiteration. It's like, I have my eyes, I have my cunning, and I have my strength. It's like this is reintroduced as a concept. Later in the film, yeah, it's like it's also established that this isn't like Aquaman telepathy command stuff. It's more so that can bargain with them, that he can speak with them, because there are times that the animals make decisions that he wouldn't have made.
That was cool.
There's a scene, I actually really liked this, where they encounter a cobra.
Mm-hmm.
They encounter a cobra and they're like, Dar, tell it to back off. Tell it to go away. And he's like, I can't. She's defending her nest. It's like, I can't tell her to go away. So what he can do is to kind of like coax it and kind of like calm it down and get it to a point where it's not going to harm them. But it's like, that's a cool note.
Yeah.
That the animals that he's working with, they do have a will of their own. It's just that he's able to communicate with them non-verbally. There's just a lot of nice little touches that remind you that there is beastmastering in your Beastmaster film, which they forgot to do in the second one. They lost that memo.
They just didn't want to deal with the animals, I'm guessing. I'm guessing Silvio Tibet, he doesn't strike me as a very talented director. You know, kids and animals, it's like, we're not dealing with any of that. It's like, fuck that. No. But yeah, I did like that. It's more fleshed out. Like it clearly demonstrates to us in a way that the other films hadn't yet, that it's not like he has dominion over these animals. They are friends. Like they are partnered in that way, where he is asking them to do what they do. And I like that they have moments where they disagree with him in this. And that bit with the cobra was legitimately kind of surprising. It's like yeah, Dar, fix it. And it's like, I can't. Like she has higher priorities than me telling her what to do. Like the cobra is defending her children. I can talk to her, but it's just like talking. It's like negotiating with a human. It's like I can ask, but beyond that, it's kind of up to the cobra.
Yeah. And it's also not played for comedy. Like it is played for a legitimate kind of tenseness to it. They're like, Dar, fix it. And he's like, not like, we have to actually be careful with this. Like, this is something, I don't have a relationship with this cobra.
I don't know that cobra. It's like, you assume I know every snake? What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's racist.
Yeah. So we establish pretty much everything. The movie quickly lets us know that it's like the bad man is gone. You're in good hands. Except those optical effects. There's the effect of Aegon going from old man to young man, and wow.
Yeah. This movie doesn't make a very good first impression. I will say that. The first few shots of this thing are a little bit alarming, where it's like, oh dear. What? One thing to point out is that as much as we shit on Beastmaster 2, and a lot of it's warranted, there's production value backing Beastmaster 2 in a lot of respects. It looks there's money. And a lot of that translates to some actually really lovely landscape photography in the A-Rock segments. Just a lot of the location scouting is kind of top notch. It's pretty great. This one doesn't have that benefit. Like a lot of the locations look kind of either confined or just not especially like glamorous or interesting. So we do have like some overhead like chopper photography for some desert sequences and stuff, primarily like Chiroc's like POV shots and stuff. But we open with that, but then we have this one matte painting that is the sole establishing shot for, I forget the name. It's later on in my notes, but I think this is Almbeth. Yeah, this is Almbeth, which is where everything in the plot is happening. So we come back here a lot. And every single time we come back, it's this one matte painting, and it looks like it was edited on a video toaster. It's like, no joke. It very much looks like a, I don't know, like a plug-in effect, like using VHS assets or something. In fact, like I feel like some of the photography of like the plate that they shot for it does look like it was using like VHS or something as opposed to like a film camera. But and then just like very suddenly, shots of old men. No, I have no context as to where these people are. It's just like shot of old man, shot of other old man looking in like some odd direction. Old man like morphs into David Warner. He looks sleepy as shit. And I just have in my notes, just yikes. And we get exposition about an Eye of Braxus, and then Eagle, and then we get an exposition dump of narration as read by David Warner, because you have Ra's al Ghul in your cast, you make use of Ra's al Ghul.
It's you might as well. You know, he's. I think of Tron mostly when I think of David Warner.
Really?
Yeah, it's like I just think of his voice and everything very much with Tron in that movie.
I would go like even Titanic over Tron, honestly. Like, it shows you how much like love I had for Tron when I was a youngster. That was the movie that was on at friends' houses a lot, but like we'd be playing with G.I. Joes or something when it was on. like I'd perk up if my buddy put on like Gettysburg, the TV movie or something, but like Tron, it's like, yeah, if there's no light cycles going on, I don't care.
Tron is one of those worlds that I love, and I love the aesthetic of it, and I love the ideas and a lot of the things surrounding it. And I just find it so doggone neat, while also admitting that we have two pretty not great films.
Three
for
now,
it.
right?
Yeah, we got three not great films. An animated series that's just fine.
Good computer game. Good computer. Tron 2.0 is good.
Oh yeah, 2.0 is good. Tron Killer App on Game Boy Advance is pretty good.
I didn't know that one.
Dude, it has first-person tank battles.
Oh no shit! Awesome.
It has a full FPS sequence. I'm like, this is neat. Like, I like Tron.
You like Tron,
while also acknowledging it's not very good. But yeah, so David Warner is sleepwalking through this movie, except for one scene later on when he like suddenly wakes up and remembers that he's an actor, and that's only when he's doing what he does best, which is yelling at people.
I mean, lunch was probably called late that day, and he was like, if we get through this take, then I can get my Subway sandwich, detective.
How very perceptive, detective.
He should end every sentence with detective. It's just
man, he's good as Ra's al Ghul. He's so good.
I always like seeing him. Like he's one of those guys that he brings something, even in this, when he's clearly a little bit checked out. Like, you can't be on every single time you're at bat.
No.
But I'm just always happy to see him, just because even when the energy's not there, the voice always is, and the presence always is. So it's like Ninja Turtles 2. Happy to see you, man. Like that Necronomicon, like Lovecraft movie.
Yeah.
Happy to see you, man. Titanic, he gets to shoot a gun at Leo DiCaprio. It's like, fuck yeah. David Warner doing action? Shit.
It is weird that we have both Man-Bat and Ra's al Ghul in this movie.
It's kind of amazing. I love that.
It's like, did Tony Todd ever do an animated series voice? I mean...
No, Richard Mole was Two-Face. Like, I'm thinking like the gravelly tone. We do have the voice of Braxus. Yeah, the voice of Braxus is like, he's like a heavy hitter when it comes to children's programming of this era. He did all sorts of stuff. But no, I don't think Tony Todd was in Batman the Animated Series, but I'm probably completely wrong on that. Anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah, we get a lot of narration from David Warner setting the stage, explaining himself, explaining the plot, just in favor of expedience, where it's like, yes, we know this is clunky. Yes, it would probably be nice to have a crawl to tell us some of this, but here, look at some footage of Dar, and I'll just tell you the plot so we can just go.
some very nice footage of Dar.
Yeah, it's pretty nice actually, and this is where we get introduced to our theme music for the movie, which is good. The rest of the music is not, but we also get like a montage of the animals. So we, if you're not familiar with the Beastmaster, now you're introduced to like ferrets, Kodo and Podo, who inexplicably are back in the story, and a Roo, who transformed into a lion overnight, and a Sharak. And then we cut to the woods, and we have an ox cart, which I guess is supposed to serve as the catalyst for our plot. So it's just some random travelers who are on this ox cart bopping around the woods, and they get jumped by some thieves like 2 seconds after the wife in the cart says, I think we're going to get jumped by thieves. Very happy to see Patrick Kilpatrick here, by the way.
Yes.
Big fan of Patrick Kilpatrick. He is a stand-up guy when it comes to playing heavies, like playing goons in movies. He's an A-tier goon. He's been killed by the best. He's been killed by Seagal. He's been killed by Van Damme. Pretty sure he's been killed by Stallone at some point. He gets killed by the best. And here, he survives.
And he survives to do something pretty cool later.
I know, it's shocking. It's like you don't expect that from a movie like this, where you just expect it's like, oh, he spared him because kids television or whatever. But then it's like, oh wait, that actually factored into the plot. There was a callback. We remembered something. Cool.
Yeah. So Dar bloodlessly takes out these bandits. As a matter of fact, there's a moment where he's brandishing his sword, and a guy comes at him with a sword, and he drops his sword and picks up a box to block it.
Very Ninja Turtles too. Very Leonardo brandishing his katanas, throwing them into the ceiling, jumping up, grabbing the handles, and kicking a man. It's like
it's weird because there are other scenes in this movie where people do get stabbed and die, and like there is actual like combat in this movie. It's just for some reason Dar didn't want to do it that time.
I think maybe they're trying to preserve Dar as a white hat in this, where it's like I noticed a lot of the killing is done by Shada, Sandra Hess. Like she's a gray character, so it's like it's okay if she kills some people. But like Dar, it's like, yeah, he's for the kids. We want to make sure Dar seems like a good guy.
Yeah. So he defeats them, and the lead bandit, played by Patrick Kilpatrick, is like, I'll get you. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever,
Yeah, I'll get you next time, Gadget. We'll meet again, Spider-Man.
Yeah, the usual things. So Dar, then they're like, thank you for rescuing us. We're actually on our way to meet King Tal to tell him that our region is under attack and that like all of our young people are being stolen for sacrifice by this crazy wizard. So Dar brings them over, and we meet Johnny Rico and Candyman. and it's in a weird set. So the first film is very Bronze Age, and pretty much everyone's in like burlap. It's like they're in burlap. It's very muted colors, very desert colors. The second film is the second film. And the third film, so this one, it feels very much like a Star Trek holodeck episode, where it's like everyone is in very bright, very kind of like various fantasy garb from like, and it's a total mishmash of cultures. Like the people that are coming in feel kind of like they're wearing lots of like patterned fabrics and everything else. Tal's place where he is taking tribute feels very Egyptian.
Yeah, his getup is very much so.
Yeah, he has like this collar and everything that feels kind of Egyptian-y. And it's like everyone, there's not as much of a uniting culture. It feels like in this
bad
world.
guys are like Spartan or Grecian.
Yeah, so because they have the big combs, and there's just not nearly as much of a uniting identity that the first film had. But I mean, it really does feel like, listen, dude, we got to make this on like whatever money we got. Go to the back lot, pull whatever you can. Does it look fantasy? Sure, let's do it. But from there, Tal and Dara reunited. Tal says, hey, when Dad died, when our dad, the king, died, he gave me this, which, sure,
Yeah,
fine.
It's I was there. Mayox slit his throat up on the pyramid. I don't know where you were. Like, I think you were playing grab ass down at the base of the pyramid while I was killing dudes. But
yeah, it's like, sure, fine.
just don't lie to me, Tall. You found that.
You just like found that in like Dad's effects. Like they gave you like the safety deposit box and that was in it. But so he's just like, I don't know what it is, but it comes in 2 pieces. So you take one. You know, I was told to keep it safe, so you take half of it. And he's like, okay. Puts it on, and then almost immediately he leaves camp and is like, I work alone. He leaves, and the village comes under attack. And Tal is kidnapped.
Off screen.
The
attack is very poorly rendered. There's exactly one guy who catches a flaming arrow to the chest. And then we have lots of footage of people shooting arrows. And then very deliberately insert shots of arrows striking objects in the environment, like walls and shields and banners. But not people. like very inept archers, apparently. But they got the job done. It probably took a few hours. Probably took all of their arrows. But yeah, we see exactly one fatality, I think, and the rest of it's just reaction shot of arrow hitting thing.
Inept archery is a big part of this franchise.
Maybe the world of Aruk, like maybe just archery's not the thing.
I don't think so. Listen, they just never figured it out in this dimension.
No, they didn't figure out archery. But yeah, the attack happens in the middle of the night. I caught a couple of just like real sloppy edits here, which I literally just have in my notes here. What was that shot? And digital punch in on flame. Ugh. Just there's just some insert shots where it's just like I don't really know what you're trying.
Where are we?
Yeah, where are we? What are you trying to communicate? The punch in on the flame is a fine transition. It's just the way that it's achieved is that ugly, artificial, mechanical looking like. Where it's like, you fucked with that in post in a way that just wasn't right.
There is some weird optical things in this where it's like the footage is either like sped up or slowed down. Or like it gets suddenly smoother for a second, and then they'll do the slow-mo, but it's like choppy TV slow-mo.
It's a particular kind of technology or technique that is of this era, like I want to say like late 80s through like the mid 90s. That it has a particular look to it where it's like I've seen a lot of television programming make use of this, where it's like ultra smooth. In like a really irksome digital way, where it reminds me of a lot of like VHS like children's entertainment that I saw of this era. I don't actually know what the technology is, but you know it when you see it, and it has a awkward smoothness to it where it just feels wrong in some way.
Well, it's like they stepped it up to like 35 FPS from the 24 that they were shooting at, and you're like, it looks too smooth. It's like all of a sudden we're watching a BBC show.
BBC was what came to mind. Speaking of Noah Antweiler / the Spoony One, I think he did a review on the British television show. I think it was called Nightmare.
Yeah.
It was kind of like Nick Arcade, but with a like D&D themed like dungeon exploration. And yeah, the effects work that they used for that is exactly what I'm describing. So yeah, the BBC is probably the best like shorthand to convey what I'm trying to get at here. But yeah, Dar goes back to the camp and he investigates. He discovers that Tal has been kidnapped again off screen. And we have some stock footage of what is probably like LA fires or something. It looks that's an actual forest fire. I know it when I see it. And we get an honest to goodness cry to the heavens. Tal!
Disappointed!
It's like, just go for it. Why not? I've never seen Dar do that before. Let's just go for it.
I'll accept it.
Yeah. So yeah. There's a lady who's at the camp, by the way, who's like, husband almost died. Almost. It's for the kids. So the husband off screen almost died. Dar actually like takes responsibility for Tal being kidnapped. I guess it's his idea of like his drive towards being alone in the wilderness or something, as opposed to like actually reuniting and like being a family to his half brother. Like, I guess he feels guilt in some way, but it's just like a somewhat contrived way to get him to like show guilt in this one scene. Kind of, it doesn't really carry over to the rest of the film, but he takes a camel and he takes off, and almost immediately he gets ambushed by the Crimson Warriors, whose crimson is a little faded. It's not the first color that comes to mind when I look at them.
Yeah, maroon.
Something.
That's brown.
Yeah, it's like I guess like some of them have like red swords, but whatever. This. Go ahead.
I do like watching Dar ride a camel. I don't know. There's something just aesthetically pleasing about like he's on a camel. Cool.
Yeah. I've never seen him ride a camel before, and it's kind of novel. It's not something you get in every movie or TV show, and it helps too that the sound of a camel is apparently a sound effect from Doom, because that is very much what I associate a camel's cry with. Is the ooh.
Yeah.
So that sound happens a few times here.
I was thinking Bantha as well.
Oh, probably, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised at all. So at this point, Seth is reintroduced into the narrative. He does a thing very Obi-Wan Kenobi-esque, where he rolls up in a robe. He doesn't make a monster noise or anything, but he pretends to be like a hermit or something, like a innocuous hermit. Yeah. Yeah. You sound like an alarm, like there klaxon or something.
I want to say in some novelization or something, it was established as like it's the sound of some sort of dragon on Tatooine.
Oh, a crate dragon, perhaps.
Yeah, it's a crate dragon. It's like that's the call of it, and it's like
whoop, 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 whoop.
Sure. I guess it's
it sound like Curly from.
It sounds like Curly Howard.
Oh, those crate dragons are terrifying, I tell you.
They're victims of circumstance.
They can take a pie to the face, I'll tell you what. But yeah, Seth, he shows up. He's in a robe, and he helps Dar by helping him fight these Crimson Warriors. He has a staff as his weapon, as he did in the first film, which is kind of nifty. I like that they call back to that. And what you were saying about the costuming, I mentioned the Mystic Knights of Tir Nanog earlier. If you get the reference. If you don't, folks, the Mystic Knights of Tir Nanog was a Power Rangers cash-in attempt. We had a lot of those in the mid-90s.
There were several.
Yeah. But the difference was this was one that was like entirely produced locally. Like it wasn't like making use of Super Sentai footage like borrowed from Japan. They actually had to produce the whole thing front to back. I think there was also like I don't even remember what the name of it was, but there was like a Lucha Libre themed one as well in the 90s. There was the Ninja Turtles, like Next Mutation or whatever, which that was some cringe ass shit. I couldn't watch that. Like I was a little too old for it, granted, but like I tried to watch a bit of it and I was like, no.
Wasn't that the Lady Turtle?
That was the Lady Turtle. It was Venus de Milo, I think.
Yeah, and they use like hypno powers to turn Shredder like good.
Yeah, stuff
Yeah,
like
like
that.
some weird like I'm not even that big of a Turtles guy, but I it's like one of those like weird cultural things that I just kind of know about.
Yeah, I'm not really. I was a Turtles boy for sure. Like it was my world for a few minutes there. When time moved differently, when I was able to trick myself into thinking a single episode of Transformers Gen 1 spanned an entire season worth of content. Like I went back and rewatched some of it. I was like, that happened in 25 minutes? That felt like an eternity for me when I was a child.
Yeah, you're like, wait, that wasn't like G1 wasn't 18 seasons?
No, the example that I always give is it was the hate plague episode. It was when everybody was turning red whenever they touched each other, and they'd get pissed off and just start swinging on each other regardless of affiliation. In my mind, that was an entire season of television. Like that was a
That was
fucking
an
saga.
arc.
Yeah, that was an arc. That was a saga that spanned many episodes and like a whole season or so. I went back like a few years ago. It's like 25 minutes. I was like, how the fuck did I manage that? But that just shows how much it meant to me because I had that many fewer experiences in my life that I was able to stretch that much meaning and depth out of it. But yeah, I did not continue to be a Turtles guy. Like for sure, early days of the cartoon, that first and second movie. The second movie, I always stand by it because I was exactly the right age for it. No, it's inferior to the first movie, but it's the one I watched the most when I was a kid. But by the time you get to like Turtles 3, it's just like, no, like I'm just not here for it anymore. But these days, they've been giving us like it never went away. That's the thing with a lot of children's content from that era is that you leave, it carries on, and everybody has kids like going forward. So it's like there's always a new crop. It's like the Stan Leeism. The every comic is somebody's first. So if we just keep making Turtles, keep giving people entry points for this thing, like new people will pick up on it wherever they pick up on it. So there's still like contemporary Turtles content out there. My fiance's nephew is all about Turtles. It's like I tried to watch some of it with him and I was like, Jesus Christ, what is like this is so much. But
Yeah,
they're still doing stuff with the property though. But that next mutation show, I couldn't handle that. I was like, no, I'm good.
it's interesting because again, I didn't really grow up with Turtles, but it's like it's one of those things that I'm through cultural osmosis and also as an adult, I've kind of gone back for like essentially the highlight reels, especially the live action movies.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the gal that I'm seeing right now is a big Turtles fan. She loves the franchise.
Wow.
And but it's weird because I'm like, in my mind, when I think of the property, I think of like the 2003 series.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think of the 2003 series and I think of the live action films, neither of which she is familiar with.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm like, listen, even as like not that big of a fan of this franchise, you have to see that 1990 movie. Like it's awesome.
It's good. You don't have to. It's just a good movie. You don't need to know anything about the Turtles or have any association. I showed it to my fiance. She liked it.
Yeah, like it did just kind of strike me that I'm like, wow, yeah, this is something that keeps going. Where it's like you can be totally familiar with one incarnation and totally unfamiliar with every other one.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I heard the animated movie. Is it like Mutant Mayhem or something?
Mutant Mayhem, yeah.
Was supposed to be good. Supposed to be very good. It just didn't get seen. Like it just didn't grab theater going audiences. There's also a lot of decent games too. Like there's a game called Shattered Dimension that I played with my brother a handful of times. It's very much like a Hades clone. Yeah. But it's very functional and fun. Like he plays it on his commute sometimes. It's kind of great. But I never thought I'd be playing a new Ninja Turtles video game with my older brother in 2025, but we are. Turtles in Time, Super Nintendo version. Fire it up with your gal.
Oh, yeah.
Just make it happen. Anyway, that was Turtle Talk. Tune in next week. So, what? Immediately after they defeat the Crimson Warriors, they take off and they set a trap. And that's an air quotes trap because it is a very obvious thing that basically has a sign on it that says "Do not touch," and Dar can't not touch. He has to play with it. He sees it. He just has to. He just can't not touch. So he plays with it, and like Tony Todd's like, "Hey, yo, you shouldn't do that. Like, maybe don't." And Dar's like, "Fuck you, Seth." Who asked you, Seth?
But yeah, so Tar screws with an obvious trap.
Yeah, it is the most obvious trap. Like, you can easily maneuver around this. It doesn't activate unless he actually goes out of his way to touch it.
Yeah, it's just they just bank on the lizard brain that he'll just.
See, there's a couple of things here going on that I wasn't sure when to bring this up, but like that would have been kind of fun to do with if you're gonna like insert like put your fingerprints on the character of Dar and try to do some shit with him. Like that is something you could do where it's like really lean into the rock-headedness or the brazenness of the character where it's just like he will do the opposite if you try to tell him what to do. Maybe that's part of his living in the wilderness thing where he's not accustomed to being challenged and he's kind of abrasive when people do it. He's like, I don't have to deal with this shit, man. Like my animal friends, they just nod. They just nod and shut up. Seth, you're a mouthy bitch. I'm the Beastmaster. Who are you, Seth? It's like that would have been fun. And the other thing that I actually like, that's just me joking, but I thought instead of having him not listening, maybe build the narrative around the concept of deception and trust. Because that seems like a new thing in this movie where he gets double crossed from time to time. He gets tricked.
Yeah.
I don't remember that happening very often in the other movies, but maybe Dar being raised as a sincere, humble young man is just really, this is a foreign concept. It's like, you mean you did something, like you said you were going to do something and you did the opposite? What? Yeah. Seth, help me out here. Like, what did she fucked us? She totally fucked us. Like maybe have that be like an aspect of the character where it's like, it's something that's foreign to him and like maybe like deeply hurtful or something. Especially because, like, you know, a lot of people admire animals for their sincerity. It's like you very seldom don't know what an animal is thinking or feeling if you pay attention. But that was just an idea that came up.
This is a new concept to us, and it has cost us greatly.
Galaxy Quest.
Yeah. But
great movie.
Awesome movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they get trapped in the fog for several minutes. It may be a little too long.
Yeah.
And they get blown off course. It was actually at this point in my notes that I said Tony Todd might be better than this material. So they get blown off course and they encounter. Do they encounter the rogue first, or do they encounter the tribe first?
I think they make it through the fog. And by the way, this is intercut with Aegon getting more like, we can gloss over this because this is a recurring thing with this character. Mm-hmm. David Warner repeatedly loses his energy and needs to restore his youth by absorbing other people, young people generally. So we have a lot of scenes that we just cut back to Almbeth and we see Lord Aegon having to rejuvenate himself and his aide farts around and seems to be set up for like a double cross or something, but never actually comes.
Doesn't happen. Yeah,
he just has a quality about him where it seems like he's scheming or he's hesitant to help out, but nothing comes of it. Anyway, they make it through the fog and Seth suggests that they wait till the night so they can read the stars to navigate because they were lost. They don't know where they are. And then Dar's like, no, I'll figure it out as we go. I just want to move. And this is where we get that reprise of He Never Listens from Tony Todd. It's his catch. I'm too old for this shit. It's his catchphrase. And then they travel through the jungle and they meet Sonya Blade from Mortal Kombat Annihilation, wearing what appears to be Jade's costume from Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
We meet the lesser Sonya Blade as Red Sonja.
Yes, correct. This is where this is actually why I mentioned Mystic Knights of Tir na Nog. There's color coding going on with the costuming here that feels very much like we're setting this up for like a weekly television series, where it's like these feel like not like lived in clothing like was the case in the first Beastmaster film, but these feel like uniforms. Like Seth is green, Shada is this character, Sonya Blade, red, and the witch lady is like purple and kind of like pinkish, and so on and so forth. It's like we have like character wardrobe and uniforms and stuff. So it's more simplistic and more color coded, which was the style at the time.
on the way to Shelbyville. It's something that I actually put in my notes later, that when we assemble our full cast of characters, I'm like, well, we now have a full D&D party. We have a ranger, a rogue, a sorceress, a bard, and a monk.
Yeah.
We have a full adventuring party. Like, this is the way that it's kind of built, where it's like, again, the first film doesn't really feel like that.
No.
The second film doesn't feel like anything.
Feels like beige. It feels like experiencing beige.
You experience beige. You experience things.
Things. Could have taught you so many things, Dar. Things.
So we meet her, and she is leading a band of cutthroats. Seth and Dar think she is captured by them, chases all of them off, and she freaks on them because she's like, it took me weeks to find those guys. And then she's clearly like not to be trusted. She's not trustworthy at all. But for some reason, Dar's like, whatever.
He respects the fact that she tripped him. And Seth.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the exchange between he and Seth. He's like, Dar, she like knocked you on your ass. Do you trust this woman? And he was like, she knocked us both on our asses. Like, I respect that at least. It's kind of cute, actually. But this location, Levi, I want to say this was outdoors, although I know a lot of this was shot on the producer's studio. It's like I forget the name of the guy, but he did a lot of porn before all this. Anyway, this location, and again, I'm not positive if it's a set or not. It reminded me so much of Next Gen, the episode with the planet with automated weapons.
Yeah.
It very much felt like that jungle look set. Like with the just like flat back, like blue background, like the backdrop.
Yeah, it is throughout. You are kind of waiting for Worf to come out of the trees and say, "I am not a merry man." Like, yeah, it's like the sets feel very artificial and very TV.
Very TV, especially when we get in the interiors. But it feels like Nickelodeon Guts or Legends of the Hidden Temple. It very much so. Maybe even less production value than Legends of the Hidden Temple. But Aegon does his thing where he absorbs a muscle man with some green lightning. We get the exact same morph shot that opened the film. We're trying to save money, folks, and also remind people that this is a thing that has to happen periodically. This is why he needs the Eye of Braxus to restore his youth and his power and stuff. It is nighttime, and we are camping. And Shada Sandra Hess is now part of their party reluctantly, but Dar wants to keep her around. Has nothing to do with how she looks or anything like that. And she is accused at one point of stealing the amulet from him. But she's actually exonerated. Kodo and Podo, and actually this is like a plot point. It is reiterated to us, but to people who've never seen a Beastmaster film, it is now told to us by Dar that Kodo and Podo are kleptos, just like to steal shit. So it turns out that no, they were the ones who stole his amulet. And earlier in the film, he actually said, like, you can't have this. Like, don't try to steal this. So it's actually kind of a callback. And actually, it does play into events later on in the film. So it's like we're supposed to be suspicious of her. But then it's like, oh, shocker. She didn't actually do anything. And he puts the amulet around Rue, the lion's neck, for safekeeping. And this is where, as Levi had said, we get the reprise of this is my strength, this is my eyes, this is my cunning, which is very, very succinct and effective. Because there's some people who aren't going to know all this and never have heard that before, but to say it in like 3 quick sentences and just like lay out like all the aspects of his animal friends so quickly is very efficient. And they start smooching. Not he and Rue, but he and Shada.
He turned to Rue and started smooching the lion, just leaving her like, what the
that would be pretty funny though.
That'd be incredible.
Where it's like she's like leaning in and they're like flirting and they just like, excuse me, Rue, come here. Rue and I are a couple, you see. We travel together. We bunk together. Like, Dar, I don't want to be here anymore, man. Like, Seth's just like, man, you're on your own. Like,
I'm not putting up with this,
yeah,
man.
you made it weird, Dar. But yeah, Seth does see them smooching, and he's just like, I'm too old for this shit. 2 days to retirement. Anyway, we cut back to Aegon, and he is interrogating Tal through the Shroud of Agony,
which is really kind of neat and spooky.
It's gnarly. Like, it unexpected, because when you hear Shroud of Agony, you think, you know, we're going to put a hood on him and we're going to have some buff dudes come out and punch him in the dick.
Yes.
But no.
You figure it will be a very utilitarian.
Yeah, experience beige through me punching you in the dick with a blindfold on. It doesn't need to be flashy or technical. It's agony. But no, it's not that. It's some walls, some tentacles that live in the walls come out and wrap around his abdomen and his face and cause him great harm. It actually reference to something that wouldn't happen until decades later. It's like the inexplicable thought invading octopus thing in Rogue One.
Yeah.
That's a thing in that movie. That just happens. Nobody's going to talk about the octopus that puts its tentacles in your brain and steals your thoughts or whatever. Riz Ahmed had to act opposite that thing.
I like how organic it is. I like that it's like, okay, we have a torture device that is just I think it's alive.
Yeah, I think it likes hurting people.
The name is the Shroud of Agony.
Yeah, it just lives in this. It lives in that wall, and you put anything near it, and it just it punches people in the dick till they tell you what you want to know.
Yeah, exactly. I like it. I think
it's kind of neat. It comes out of nowhere. Yeah. It's actually kind of neat. I like how organic and unexpected it is. But we're back to the camp and in the misty forest. So somebody brought a fog machine today. Not every day, but today on set, we have a fog machine and we use it. And Shada is gone. But then she comes back like 20 seconds later.
Yeah.
And she tells them that she has found a route to Almbeth. Seth, of course, doesn't trust her. We have a brief travel montage. And Shada is like, okay, Almbeth's over there. I'm going to buy the movie. So she just excuses herself. And very shortly after, Seth is like, "This isn't my world," disappointed. Um, basically, he says, "Hey, Dar, I don't think we're going the right way." So it turns out she has been deceiving them. She's luring them into, I don't have Admiral Akbar on the board. I can't believe it. I don't have It's a Trap. I have
How do you fuck that up?
William Hurt, but I don't have Admiral Akbar.
That's a shame. But that is Dar's reaction to they encounter a hostile tribe, a mixed race hostile tribe. It's a melting pot, you see.
As was the style at the time. Those roving bands of street toughs in the 80s, they were very multicultural, you see.
It's a little interesting because, you know, a multicultural gang in like Los Angeles, I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I mean, sure, fine. Multicultural foreign tribe in the jungle. Like,
Yeah.
they're just welcoming in like Tarzan and Dances with Wolves kids left and right. Like, so,
Come hang out with us. Give us more.
yeah. So Seth is like, hold on, I'll negotiate with them. He screws it up.
Bunny Guana Mini Mom.
This is getting expensive.
No, I mean, no joke. It's kind of that.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happens. Like, he says the first phrase and they're like, okay. And he says the second phrase and they're like, okay, get him. So
yeah. Levi, he literally says, "I'll have them eating out of my hand." He literally says
he does, doesn't he?
He does. The Transformers the movie references keep coming.
It just
universal greeting. It lives forever.
Yeah. So they're captured, and then they manage to uncapture themselves. Through, I think, Podo and Kodo chew through their bonds. Is that it?
Okay, so in my notes, I have that Seth tries to talk to them. It fails. Music feels like Donkey Kong Country.
Yes.
Shada is in cahoots with the tribe. Takes amulet from Rue, who is caught in like a snare trap. It looked like they had a different lion in that net because the mane wasn't as thick in certain shots. And she also takes his sword. She takes Dar's sword, which was taken from him when he was captured. Sharak is the animal friend who provides the save by like knocking over an axe or something that chops.
Oh yeah.
And then they get to fight, and then inexplicably Patrick Kilpatrick comes back with the save.
And it's really cool because he manages to save Dar's life, and he turns, and it's like, you. And you're kind of expecting for him to be like, oh, yeah, me and this tribe have been working together. And it's like, no, he's like, you spared my life. I spare yours. Next time it won't be so easy. And you're like,
I mean, there's
okay.
There's episode 2's villain, I guess, like, or a few episodes down the line, bring Patrick Kilpatrick back and be like, okay, we cross paths again. Everybody gets one. You had your one. Now we fight.
Well, it speaks to something stronger. I'm like, I like this. I like sort of the rules of these characters in this world.
Yeah, no, I like that it gives you like a little bit of culture where it's like there is a sense of honor among these people. Like across all these cultures, it's like there's this guy who seems to be a brigand that, you know, he could have had his head lopped off in that first scene, but it wasn't, so he respects that enough that he'll pay him a kindness exactly once, and then next time all bets are off.
Yeah. So it's revealed that Sonia is in fact working for Aegon and has gotten the amulet for him. They very quickly catch up with her. Like, super quickly. We're talking like about 2 minutes. They catch up with her, and get the amulet back, and we have the scene with the cobra we mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't write down the exact words of it, because Dar brings out the amulet and Seth sees it and he's like, I know exactly what that is.
Yeah.
I know what that is. Why do you have it? Essentially. And he's like, yeah, Braxus was like, he was a general in hell. Like he lays out sort of this like brief, like 2 sentences, nothing crazy, just this legend of like, this is what this is why it's important, and this is why they can't have it. It's sort of it's quick, it's effective, it's a little bit of world building. It's not like a big drawn out thing. I like it. I feel like it adds just a little bit more texture to this object.
Well, it also validates Seth's reason for being there. Is that
yes,
Dar's farting around in the woods all the time. Like he's not a record keeper. Like he doesn't know all of these things. Seth is like a royal retainer, basically. Like he's supposed to be learned and knowledgeable. So he gets to be sagely to Dar every once in a while. It's a fun dynamic where it's like he's here for a reason because he knows shit that Dar doesn't. Even if Dar's always the one who's like charging headfirst into trying to save the day. I will say that I like that too, but the filmmaking kind of shoots itself in the foot, because while he's saying all that, if memory serves, Shada is tied up, and we are frequently cutting back and forth between him telling Dar this legend and shots of her like slipping under her bindings and freeing herself before falling face first into a pile of sand. So like the visual overlap of like showing her do this complex task of freeing herself while he's saying all this kind of interesting stuff, it muddies it a little bit in my mind, where it's like I want to listen to him, but we keep being shown her.
It communicates to the audience that the information they are being given is superfluous.
Exactly. It diminishes its value.
Yeah, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Because it's good that it's there. Because, listen, man, not everything in this world needs to be like the Bat People, who don't have a name and are never explained and are just there.
the Bat People who give the nod to Dar. Yeah, we love the Bat People. More like as the movies have gone by, I value them more and more.
I see. At night, I think of you.
like these Bat People are a different kind of character. We've never had Bat People before. Except we have, because it's fucking Star Wars and we're up to our necks in Bat People.
I actually do have a Lucas comparison later on. We'll get to that.
Okay, please don't forget it.
Yeah. So after that, we meet a traveling circus.
That is a clown on stilts.
That's a clown man on stilts who looks like he has Kiss makeup, but it's not in just black and white.
Yeah, did not expect to see that in a Beastmaster movie. But like he comes up over the hill and like Seth is like, "Is that a giant?" I'm like, "No, that's a fucking clown on stilts."
So he comes up over the hill and announces that he is a part of this circus with Madame
Mystico and company.
Madame Mystico, who proves that witches suck in this franchise. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Stop giving them lines, please. So he is Bay. Bay is the acrobat in Madame Mystico's traveling circus, which appears to only have 2 people. The acrobat and the fortune teller.
Sure.
Sure. So this actor likes to show off the fact that he can do a standing backflip. It's neat. I'll take it. Guy has some good physicality to him. It sets him apart from the rest of the cast. So they're shown into Madame Mystico, and Goofy Hack TV thing number 1 in my list of notes happens, which is Seth and Mystico, or Morgana, or whatever she actually goes by. They have a history. They were once lovers, and I'm like, it's kind of funny to watch Tony Todd sweat. Like it's kind of funny to watch Tony Todd sweat and be like, oh yeah. He's like, we got to get out of here. Like we gotta go. Like it's kind of funny, but it's also like real hack TV stuff. I'm like, oh
yeah,
no.
yeah. I feel like I've seen this same beat on Next Gen from time to time. We have history, you see. I did like, I mean, it's for kids, so I do like that. Dar's like asking, like, what's the deal between you and this woman? Tony Todd says she's a real witch. It's like, I see what you did there. For the kids, you know. Yeah, that was kind of cute, but yeah, it is cringy. It's embarrassing. And by the way, you probably saw this. There's a cute trivia factoid about our acrobat fella, Bay.
Oh, really?
Apparently, he like cracked his fucking face open doing a backflip during his audition. So I'm guessing that they had him do backflips throughout the film. One, to show off that he can do it, you know, give some flavor to the character and have something for the kids to clap at, but also just vindication. Where it's like, it was not in vain. He can actually do it. Because it jumped out at me where I was like, he's doing a lot of backflips for no real reason. And then I read that and I was like, oh, it was, you know, probably made him feel better to know that he actually got it on film a few times. But yeah, apparently Morgana / Madame Mystico had turned Seth into a rabbit, and Dar wisely excuses himself from the tent. Presumably Seth and Morgana boink off screen again for kids.
Yeah, fully clothed.
Yeah. Anyway, I noticed here that we get a close up of Dar's sword, which is more of like a broadsword in this. It had a curved blade in the first 2 movies, which is actually kind of distinct and neat.
Well, and it's only a single blade, if I'm recalling correctly.
Oh yeah,
it's only on one side in the first 2 films.
Yeah, in this one it's a double-edged broadsword, so it's straighter. It's a straight blade, whereas in the first 2 it has a curve to it, and it's elegant. It kind of fits the silhouette of the character. It's kind of neat. I noticed it has Kodo and Podo engraved on it.
I didn't notice that.
There's a close-up shot that there's 2 ferrets on the blade.
That's really cute.
That's really cute. I mean, it's probably a little weird to get stabbed and have the last thing that you see be like, did you just stab me with a ferret sword? What
the hell?
You worship in the Church of Ferret? What the fuck? What kind of wildling are you? But Bay really wants to be on the Beastmaster TV show.
Bay wants to be on the Beastmaster TV show.
He really wants to be Robin.
He's gunning for it.
He wants it so bad. So he's like chatting up Dar and he's like, yo, I think you're really cool. I want to come with you. Take me with you. This is where we get that name drop of Mayox. So he lists his accolades and then stops at Mayox. Arklon never happened. Dar refuses because he, in his own words, is no hero. Dar comes back into the tent after just farting around outside for a couple minutes. I guess Seth and Morgana got done pretty quick. Kept their clothes on the whole time. I wrote in my notes, Seth fucked a favor out of her. Because she's like very compliant now.
I believe she says, well, your friend has put me in a very good mood.
Exactly. So he earned her favor with his dong.
Sweet as candy, that Tony Todd.
That Tony Todd. He did already have a couple of Candymans under his belt. He was about to do The Rock the same year.
Man, I guess he just had an opening in his schedule. It was just like, dude, I loved Beastmaster.
I mean, maybe everybody was a kid at some point, and like maybe he saw Beastmaster and he's like, I fucking love Beastmaster. Get me in on that.
Yeah. So yeah, so they need to disguise them to get into the fortress. So Mystico, she puts out her hands, and it's one of those. So she displays magical powers and there's like purple lightning effects coming out of her fingers. And it's like, okay, it's revealed that the only reason this works is because she has an artifact. It's like a gem on her head.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so that feels like the first film, but these powers don't quite. They're just a little too flashy. Anyways, so Dar and company need to get into the fortress. So Madame Mystico says, okay, we'll polymorph you we'll polymorph your animal friends into smaller, less threatening animals so we can get them in. And she uses her magical lightning effects, which feel a little bit out of step with how magic works in the rest of the movie. And they are turned into a house cat, 2 white mice, and a dove.
Yes.
And then the Crimson Brigade or whatever immediately storms in and arrests Star and brings him into the castle.
Yes.
And this is apparently all a part of the plan.
Yeah, we think that she's betrayed him. But when it's just she and Seth, she explains to him that she's on their side. And he tosses back at her because she claims that she's here to destroy or nullify the amulet that everybody's fighting over, but she can only do that when it's united. So they have to let Aegon get as close to his goal as possible before they can intercede. It's a little muddled for sure.
It never comes back. It never comes back into play.
No, it does not. Anyway, Dar gets strung up in some room in the fortress, and Aegon gets to mock him and have him like in a James Bond kind of situation here, where he's dangling over like a molten crevice in the ground. And cute little line from Dar. He says, "I guess I should have listened to Seth." It's like, maybe. Anyway, Shada just comes in and saves him at the last moment before he falls to his doom. Morgana restores all the animals, so they were transformed for minutes, basically.
Yeah.
Entirely pointless. So Dar and Shada make for rescuing Tal within the fortress, while all the others, so Morgana, the witch, Faye, the acrobat, and Seth, they all go for the amulet. So our party is split at this point, and we get some kind of lame fighting, a lot of it, in fact. It's pretty lame in general, but it's inoffensive. It's innocuous. It's kind of like it has to be there, but you can tell like we didn't have the best choreographers. We probably didn't have very much time, and we were trying not to hurt each other. Yeah, people got careers.
Again, it feels like a holodeck episode. It's
very much so.
It feels like Star Trek choreography, like all of the people who would have been able to do this better are busy and are on shows that are specifically meant to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would have killed for a double axe handle or a wall drop kick, a Shatnerian wall drop kick. I love that wall drop kick. Just the double axe handle. That's his trademark. The Kirk double axe handle.
I've been told in the past that it's like actually hitting someone like this probably isn't a good idea, considering if you do it wrong, you'll just break all your fingers.
Yes. It is a thing that pro wrestlers do on the square of people's backs so as to not hurt one another.
Yeah, like I've Like, I've always understood that it's just like, you should never actually do this.
No. I mean, you should never, when it comes to practicing fighting techniques, Captain Kirk should not be the template. I mean, the man does more damage to the sets than he does to himself or his opponent. It's kind of amazing, though. Like, it is a wonderful gift to humanity that we have footage of William Shatner practicing fighting techniques on the walls of the Enterprise. Not so much the people, but not like he's fighting the environment as much as he is the people.
Yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, Shatner versus the Gorn is like that needs to be in a museum.
It ought to be.
Yeah, it really should be. It deserves to be preserved. So anyway, Aegon actually he completes the Eye of Braxus, but he needs another sacrifice before he can make use of it. He's like, I'm too weak. I'm much too weak. I need to eat another child before I can open this thing. Please, I'm parched. I must suck the life from another child. So he can't quite unleash hell on the world, but Bay helps by bringing some keys to Dar, for which he can use to free Tal, who is still in those damn tentacles. He's just been getting his brain sucked for like 3 days straight.
He has been in the shroud of agony for all this time.
Yeah, he has been experiencing Beige all this time. So Rue, Sharak, and Kodo and Podo rebel at this point because Dar wants to get out of there. He's like, I have my half-brother. I have Johnny Rico in tow. Let's carry his oddly diminutive ass out of here. Shockingly diminutive ass.
Really small man.
I did not expect that. Like, I've seen Starship Troopers a million times. It never computed. Like, it never came together in my mind that Casper Van Dien, as handsome as he is, chiseled as he is a pretty small guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. As Aryan as he's supposed to be in that movie. It's like, dude, like, I don't know, man. Dar wants to carry his ass out of there and just leave. Like, he doesn't want to, apparently he doesn't want to save the day. He just wants to save Tal. And the animals stage a rebellion. They just kind of hold their ground and they're like, no, we want to go fuck up Aegon. You're coming with. And so Dar, he caves. And this is that part where he hands Tal off to Shada. Like, literally, he just like a baby, like dumps his half brother in her arms. And he's like, can you handle that? And she's like, yep, no problem.
Yeah, I carry Casper Van Dien all the time.
I'm picturing Casper Van Dien like just going method and just having people carry him around the set, like in between takes. It's like, mein Onkel, it's twisted. I cannot.
So the line they specifically give for the animals is, they know what you must do.
That's a good one.
And it's like, little goofy, sure, but it's effective. And then, you know, as Dar accepts it, he turns and he says, you know, thank you for helping me remember my destiny. So it's evoking, once again, that idea from the first film, that it is an embracing of the destiny that's in front of him. It's these small ideas. It's these small, like, little breadcrumbs here and there of, like, this is an evolution and a carrying forward of what we had in that first film. Even if it's different, the philosophy and the ideas present there are still here. And I just think it's a very nice touch.
Yeah, I like that quite a lot. Or it is in the spirit of that first film. And again, I like calling back to our discussion in that first film. That was one of the things that always I found endearing about the character, is that he, from humble origins, and just the way he would go about his heroism felt like his adoptive father figure. We talked about how when doom comes to his village, his instinct is just to act, to come to the fore, because that is what is done. Like that is what you must do. And he, his facial expression tells you like everything you need to know. He's not going to survive this, but it's what you do. And having Dar have this moment where it's like he's kind of like realigned, like recalibrated to like where destiny is supposed to be taking it. Like it is what you must do. I like that quite a lot. Unfortunately, we have to tarnish it with more shenanigans because Morgana is still in this movie and is probably the worst thing in it. At one point, she turns a dude into a turtle.
Yeah, it's kind of funny to me.
Yeah, she turns a dude into a turtle, which I guess, you've demonstrated that she can do that quickly and seamlessly. So why not have her polymorph some other people into some other critters, like offensively as opposed to like as a deception tactic or something. Shada comes to her rescue and we have a lady fight where it's like the ladies fighting side by side. It's actually kind of cute because like the artifact that Morgana has, she loses it. It gets stepped on, I think. So she like just picks up a sword and starts swinging it. It's like, it's very practical. Why not?
she has a line like, do it the old fashioned way.
Yeah, it's kind of cute. So anyway, Dar, he stops Aegon from absorbing Bay, who was captured very suddenly during the prison escape sequence.
I don't know how that happened.
Dar turned his head and like 4 guys jumped him. Okay. Aegon's aide guy just walks into the room and he's like, "Oh, a young man." Grab him. and Dar just happens to be looking the other way. It happens very suddenly without any real ceremony behind it. So Dar actually stops Aegon from absorbing Bay. Sharrak is put in a magical cage by Aegon. So taken out of the equation.
Really weird. I'm like, okay, no.
Yeah, to just conjure a metal cage like that just feels false. Like that just feels wrong.
It feels wrong considering what we've seen. Even with the magic being a little like more like mainstream fantasy in this movie, like it feels very wrong.
Yeah, it feels like a cage. Like you can certainly have like a spell or something that takes the eagle out of the equation, but just like form a cage around the animal just feels oddly specific and wrong. Like maybe just like a weakness spell or like a crippling spell or something. Just something else, like or maybe like a vine or something.
Yeah, something elemental or...
Yeah, like I was thinking like a creeping vine or something. Like binds it to the floors. Something organic and more elemental. It feels very off, honestly. So Dar, he's swinging his sword around. He smashes one of the statues of Braxus that's in the room. And Aegon tries to open the tomb at this point with the Eye of Braxus. The very tomb that he had not opened because he said he was too weak to do it. So I guess he's just saying, fuck it. I don't think I'm going to survive this anyway. Like, I guess he just throws caution to the wind at this point or something. And then Braxus's voice announces himself like a goddamn pro wrestler. It's like the Shockmaster's about to roll in, like bust through that wall Kool-Aid Man style or something. And Braxus possesses Aegon. I believe he inhabits his body.
Yeah.
Like he says, "I'm going to offer you my strength and my spirit, but I'm going to take your body while I'm at it." Yeah. So Aegon gets dicked over by Braxus here, and we get some weird color optical effects of some sort, like some weird filtering or something. That I was worried, and maybe they should have just kept this going, but I was worried that like every shot of Braxus was going to have this on it because they were embarrassed by the costume or something. They're trying to obscure it. But he shows up and we've been talking about it a lot. We had a whole 10-minute segment or something about turtle talk, but he is a goddamn Ninja Turtle. He's straight out of the Dinosaurs TV show.
He is
no joke.
Big old lizard man.
He is Earl from Dinosaurs.
His motorized mouth and his big old floppy claws. And it's there's a way you could shoot this that would make it look good and kind of intimidating, maybe. They don't do that. And this is the George Lucas comparison.
Okay.
A common thing, and something I actually agree with in many cases, a way to fix some of the goofiness of the prequels is to have more alien languages. Like, the Trade Federation guys don't sound vaguely Asian. You just have them speaking another language. You have them do the Jabba the Hutt thing. It's like, and you could solve Jar Jar the same way. You could do Watto. Like, all of these different characters, they just speak another language, and we have subtitles. Because it worked for Jabba the Hutt, it also worked for different characters in Mos Eisley. Someone proposed that the rather embarrassing song sequence in Acolyte, like sort of their chanting, could also be solved by, again, an alien language. Braxus speaks perfect English in his big, dumb monster voice. And it's so dumb and stupid. And he's just, I am Braxus, and the powers of hell will consume you, and I won't be destroyed by any mortal. And you're like, I really wish he was like, just throw like a demon tongue on it. Just give us the subtitles or something. It's like, Qapla', experience beige, please.
Yeah, he takes form, he grabs a guard by the head and says, experience beige.
Like, that's the thing. You just need... The problem is that the costume is already kind of goofy and is not being shot very well.
No.
But him just having the voice of a guy with a monster voice who's speaking perfect English and saying his name over and over again really kind of makes the whole thing overly kiddie.
Yeah. Very much so.
It doesn't work. So the whole fight, there's like no tension or like excitement or anything. There's really no moments where you feel like Dar and Bay are in danger. And the big build-up villain is a roughly man-sized, big, goofy Ninja Turtle puppet.
Yeah, I mean, even his head shape is almost like Barney-esque. I hate to say it.
It's a real shame.
It is. It feels like Conan the Destroyer, but at least Conan the Destroyer had some guts to it. It had some teeth to it, where it's like the monster at the end of that one, it takes some people out. Like, and it is difficult to take down. It doesn't speak English. It just roars and has a portable lightning storm with it. Like, it similar kind of intended ending where it's like, oh no, the evil is unleashed. How are we going to take out the evil? It's so overwhelming. But this guy's, he says his name a lot. He's like a fucking Pokemon almost.
It's really bad. Well, because I think of something even like Evil Dead 2. Like the dagger, like get the dagger into this thing, and it's like this creature is coming out through the portal.
Yeah.
It's like there are ways to do this and have it be exciting and interesting and threatening, and this doesn't. It's pretty unfortunate because it's like it really is a glaring flaw that on an otherwise pretty fun movie that, yeah, our big finale is just pretty dull and lifeless.
The lack of tension, I think, is what hurts the most. It's because that's been a bit of a problem. No, not as apparent as in this sequence, but like in general, the action in the movie is pretty lame and doesn't have any real sense of danger to it. Like, there's no real struggle on the part of our characters at all. At least Dar gets captured several times in the movie. Like that's something. But
Yeah.
it's here when it comes down to nothing but just like a fight. That there needs to be more ebb and flow. There needs to be like a back and forth. There needs to be that like back to the wall moment that just never really comes. They handle Braxus pretty easily, honestly. Like he gets to demonstrate his powers on some other characters, like the aide character to Aegon He gets dispatched in this very curious way where Braxus like spits an orb that turns into a spear in mid-flight and impales him. I think he also spits like Bowser style fireballs at one point.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like his interactions with Dar and Bay, like it's you never really feel that Dar is in any exceptional like danger.
Yeah. It's one of the things that I was thinking throughout the movie is this feels like it feels like FMV cutscenes.
Yeah.
It's like it feels like I'm about to start the boss battle in a Sega CD game or something, and this is the FMV cutscene before it actually happens. It's unfortunate. They dispatch him quickly. He's not much of a threat. The adventuring party rides out after destroying the eye, and we hear from the pit that he emerged out of, like, we will meet again, Beastmaster.
Yeah. He comes back for one last scare. In slasher movie style.
Yeah, and it's we get everyone outside. The day is saved. Tal says, "Seth, you're fired. Go travel with Dar." Bay says, "I want to come along too," and they say no. And he says, "Please," and they say, "Oh, all right."
The animals vouch for him, like and the others do.
Yeah, the animals side with him. And they ride off into the sunset for future adventures that did not happen. This feels like a backdoor pilot. It feels like a pilot. But the eventual television series that we did get came out several years later, and none of this is used. None of the same supporting cast, none of the same locations. Dar and his animal friends are there, but pretty much everything else is different. So nothing from this ended up being used.
Yeah, it seems like the Beastmaster franchise, we talked about this at the top of the discussion, is a bit of an orphan. It was handed off from parent to parent in the form of these different studios and different producers and stuff. So as I said, the action pack that this was originally aired on television was seemingly created specifically for the purpose of basically just making direct-to-video feature films that could potentially serve as backdoor pilots. This one was obviously not picked up, but in 1999 we did get a Beastmaster TV show, but Mark Singer's gone, and it's a concept. It's no longer a franchise at that point. It's just like the Beastmaster's a cool idea. Let's take another swing at Beastmaster.
Yeah. Apparently, later on in the series, it's like, because guys, this show got like 4 seasons.
It did.
Like way later on, there's apparently an episode where like Dar goes through a spiritual journey, and Mark Singer appears as like his guide. Like he is his spirit guide through this. Like he pulls down the hood, and you're like, oh shit, it's the Beastmaster.
Yeah, for this episode only.
Yeah, it's like for this episode, we get the spiritual handing of the baton 3 seasons in.
Yeah, normally you'd want to start with that. Like I think Highlander did that.
The Highlander TV show.
Pretty sure Christopher Lambert was on that first, like maybe the pilot act.
Yeah, it was that first episode. It's like Connor hands it off to Duncan.
Yeah.
And then they come back together for Endgame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but 3 seasons deep, you got to wait for it.
yeah. 3 seasons deep, we get the spiritual handing of the baton. Apparently, the show was produced in Australia, so it probably took that long to fly Mark Singer out. But yeah, so ends Beastmaster as a franchise. Effectively, it's it ends on a not a bad note, but that finale is leaves a lot to be desired. It kind of makes you wish we went out on a bit more of a big whiz-bang triumph, but if it's got to end, I mean, I'd much rather have it end here than with the Portal of Time.
Yeah, no, that was how I felt about this one. Is that it is very imperfect, like it's very flawed, very cheap. But the spirit is there. That's the main difference. Is that it feels in the spirit of the first Beastmaster film, and I'm glad we have it because I find value in that first Beastmaster film. And if there are to be sequels to it, it would sting quite a lot to know that the road ended through the Portal of Time. Like, yeah, that'd be kind of a disgrace where it's like, man, that sucks. But at least this one, it's like, there's some dignity restored. It ends on a bit of a whimper because that final battle is not fitting. It's not a fitting final chapter. It's not Indiana Jones and his dad riding off into the sunset after finding the holy fucking grail or something. It's not exactly that, but it's better than the second one enough. Like it's better enough.
Yeah, Beastmaster enters the dubious halls occupied, I think, only by the Exorcist of first movie. All right. Second movie. Oh God, why? This is the worst thing I've ever seen. And a third movie of, all right. Okay.
Yeah. And what, a fourth and fifth movie that are the same movie but re-edited?
we don't talk about the fourth and fifth Exorcists. yeah, it's just like, yeah, they are the same movie, but they are completely different because somebody got canned.
Yeah. Beastmaster as a concept, I do find value in it. I'm glad we have at least that first movie, and I'm glad that I've now experienced not Beige, but the Eye of Braxus.
Yeah.
I've learned of its existence very short, like not that long ago, but now I actually know what it is. That's kind of neat. Would like to point out, like when it comes to the Braxus character, when you hear him, you start to cringe. When you see him, you start to like crawl backwards in your seat, just like looking for an escape. And then there's that moment where Kodo and Podo drop a chandelier on his head, and it like his skull goes because it's very clearly soft foam. It's like it's like, oh man,
they take on a demon lord of hell like a Scooby-Doo villain.
I know, you half expect like a poink. It's like, oh man, it's like, oh shit, our last boss is a fucking Chuck E. Cheese character.
It's pretty embarrassing. Like
it's pretty embarrassing.
It's funny because I'm like, this is the evolution of the Gorn fight. This is the, if next gen had a Kirk versus Gorn fight, this is what it would look like.
I mean, it's a solid comparison. I'm probably going to have to insert a clip of the Shockmaster from WCW because that if you don't get the reference, dear listeners and viewers, and also Levi, the Shockmaster is notorious for being perhaps like the most embarrassing debut in wrestling history.
Is that the sparkly Stormtrooper helmet?
That's the sparkly Stormtrooper helmet. His pyro goes off. He's supposed to Kool-Aid man his way through that wall, and he falls face first onto the floor. The helmet comes off, and you hear the other wrestlers on the stage saying, he fell on his fucking ass. He fell right on his fucking ass. And then you also hear the man whose voice is supposed to be done via PA, like somebody behind the curtain is supposed to be doing his voice for him. It's basically Dr. Claw voice.
Yeah.
He's like, "Now get your next time, Sting." It's basically supposed to be that. But you hear this rotund fella laying face first on the floor he's wearing what appears to be a vest that looks like the original Jabba the Hutt costume.
Yeah,
the fuzzy
it's
vest.
like a fur vest, yeah.
He's wearing that with the bedazzled Stormtrooper helmet, which just came off, by the way. And you hear this guy loud, like clear, crystal clear on the mic say, "Oh no, I fell down." Then they cut to the other wrestlers, and the one guy starts improving. Psycho Sid starts improving. Who are you? Who the hell are you? And he's buying time because the guy has to put the helmet back on.
Yeah, he's just trying to sell it. He's
trying to stretch it, sell the illusion, and we cut back to the guy, and the guy doing the voiceover is just like his. Let's get through this. But it just reminded me of that, where it's like Braxus blows through the wall, and you're just like, oh, he fell right on his fucking ass. He fell right on his fucking ass. Oh no, I fell down.
Here's what's crazy.
Fucking chandelier to the dome.
Here's what's crazy, Trevor. I'm not even that big of a wrestling guy, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's important. It's right up there with Kirk versus the Gorn. It deserves to be in a museum. The people need to know.
You said most embarrassing wrestling, and I'm like, it has to be that. It has to be the Sparklies Stormtrooper helmet.
It has to be the Shockmaster. It can't be anything but the Shockmaster. But yeah, that to me, that's what the debut of Braxus felt like, was the Shockmaster.
No, absolutely. He fell down.
It fell right on his fucking ass.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was Beastmaster III, The Eye of Braxus, directed by Gabrielle Beaumont.
And what a picture it was.
What a picture. What a journey. We have at least one more Barbarian flick that we'll be talking about. Hopefully the plan is to talk about, that is the correct gesture to be giving. Metal as fuck. Steven Kostanski's Deathstalker 2025. I am unreasonably hyped for this. So it will probably let me down to some extent because I'm that level of hype for it. But that is the plan, is to close things out with a pivot to Deathstalker, contemporary Deathstalker, as produced by Shout Studios, by the way.
Sounds good.
Yeah. But before we go, Levi, how about you tell the folks at home about you and your YouTube channel endeavors? Yeah. What do you got going on?
Hey guys, I talk about books mostly. Mostly like thin paperbacks, action paperbacks, stuff like Conan, James Bond, Elric. I did an episode on Zorro I really like. I like the Zorro episode. Big fan of that one. It's covering books that you can read in the afternoon or on a plane ride. That is just a good way to get back into reading. Because everyone talks about how it's just like, there's not stuff for guys coming out these days. And action movies aren't as good as they used to be. And video games are getting lousy. I'm like, dude, pick up a book. Pick up a book. There's all this stuff that's written just for you. Have a ball. So I talk about that sort of thing over on my channel.
Yeah, Levi does wonderful stuff. His channel's called Your Captain Speaking. And just the sheer level of passion and craftsmanship that goes into all your videos is truly admirable. Levi did a recent video, unrelated to books actually, about real film, quote unquote, like actual projected film, and the particular quality of it, the essence of it that makes it special. Very much worth a watch. But yeah, if you want to check out some men's fiction, if you want your entry point, Levi has plenty of those to offer. So go ahead and check that out. But this was Beastmaster III, The Eye of Braxus, as directed by Gabrielle Beaumont from the year 1996. Tune in next week for, hopefully, our review of Deathstalker 2025. But that being said, thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.